I get that it's episode 5, but there is absolutely no reason why I should be getting more questions than answers at this point in this season of House of the Dragon. What is going on? First off, welcome in. My name's Strez. I love talking about all things fandom and geek culture here on this channel. If you haven't yet and you want to support the channel, click that subscribe button or click a like or do whatever. Liking is literally for free. You don't have to submit anything to me in writing or anything like that. But yeah, moving on. Getting into this episode. Why did it end the way that it did when the entirety of the rest of the episode was like kind of a snooze fest? Does that make sense? Like there was a point where I look over at my wife and she's like, this episode's kind of boring compared to the other 4. And I was like, yeah, totally agree. And then like the last 7 minutes of the episode happens and I was like, wait a second. This actually isn't that bad of an episode at all. It's actually a pretty good episode. So I guess I'll rate this episode. Have I done episode ratings? This one is in 5th place. I'll just say that. It is, I think, the overall the weakest episode so far of season 4 of House of the Dragon. Season 4, season 3, what season? I don't even remember what season we're in. My brain is just filled with so many different questions and answers that I don't have, but I feel like we're going to be getting in the next couple episodes. I don't know. Do feel vindicated because I did suspect that Aemond was actually going to have survived and is alive. That was confirmed in this episode. Thank you for giving us an answer to a question that we have had for the past couple of however many weeks at this point. Aegon got a win. Finally, I guess. Dude has been going through it for the past entire season plus. And when he got to drive the dagger through that dude's throat, I'm pretty sure that was the guy that made him kiss his feet too. That had to feel good because me as a viewer, that kind of felt good as well, which don't think too deeply about what I'm saying here because it is what it is. That was good. That was good to see. I knew exactly what he was going for, right? He obviously was going to try to rob Aegon because he saw his purse bag sitting right next to him and he went into it and I was like, oh, his crown's in there. He's going to discover something. And then as soon as he says something to Aegon about it, Aegon just jumps on him like Fleagle flies on a flat-faced flugel horse. Like it took no time at all. Like shout out to him for being able to do that. 100%. I do think though that this episode took too long getting into the meat of what I think they were trying to do tonight. I don't know. It felt like a long walk for a short drink of water, if that makes sense. And maybe I'm talking out of my butt here because I'm a little bit tired this weekend, but it just felt like over the past 4 weeks before this, the entirety of the episode was like, this is well paced. This is well scripted. This is well timed. There's plenty of action. There's plenty of things to catch my attention throughout the entirety of each episode. But today, and maybe it was a product of the fact that, you know, over the course of the 4 episodes before this one, we got a couple stories, especially last week. Really, we just got the Daeron and Ormund story. And then the week before that, we got I guess we got more than that. But now that we have incorporated Daeron and Ormund into kind of the main arc of the story, there's another level of stories that is taking place now. So we had Aegon and Larys obviously still trying to survive out in the wild. Aemond trying to get back on his feet, which he finally did at the very end. That dude is nasty with a sword, if we're being honest. Not quite as good as his uncle, but good with a sword. Then we've got Rhaenyra trying to figure out who is behind everything. Daemon is involved in that, but Daemon is also involved in trying to do his own thing, trying to figure out who is, writing this stuff on the walls. And then obviously the thing at the end of the episode happened and you're like, oh my God, this is opening up even more questions. Alicent and Helena are trying to escape a couple times and they get stuck in a random hallway. Like the Hightower army they get to the river and the bridge is burned because smart move by the Grey Wolves, by the way. That's definitely something they should have done once they crossed the river. And we see Gwaine is like leaving now because he doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. So there are like, oh, and then obviously Daeron and Ormund. Like there are 7 different storylines that are all taking place at this point, and I feel like we couldn't get into in depth in each of them enough to really have kind of a coherent, overarching narrative for this episode. But obviously, because it's episodic television, we're going to get more answers as the season progresses. But it just felt a little slow, like not enough happened for any specific character until the very end of the episode, when it was all just boom. Aemond fights all of those hedge knights and kills all of them and protects Alice Rivers. And then Aegon gets to have his kill against the dude that made him kiss his feet. And then Rhaenyra gets the token and finds out that it's actually Ormond who has declared Daeron Targaryen the new king. And then we see Alicent and Helena get stuck in that hallway. And then we see Daemon go down and see all of his gold cloaks butchered. Just like, that was crazy. Like, that was a crazy ending scene, right? And then we see, you know, Gwaine leaving the rest of his men and Kristen Cole like in the woods. Like, that all really kind of happened over the last small portion of the show, but there was a whole hour before all of these things took place. So it was kind of one of those episodes for me in my brain where it was like, okay, now we're getting to something. Boom, credits roll. I'm like, what, dude, what is going on here? What are we doing? Overall, though, like, it serves a purpose. I just wish that it served the purpose differently, if that makes sense. But there's a couple threads that have opened up in this episode. One of the things was, it was confirmed to me that Ormund Hightower is a big old whiny baby. He got beat in a game of chess or whatever that was that they were playing by Daeron and loses his mind. Maybe he was mad because Daeron apologized for beating him, or maybe he was mad because he lost. I think that he was probably mad because he lost, because he seems like a hot-headed baby boy. I don't even know what I want to call him at this point. That's just kind of what I'm feeling about Ormund Hightower at this point. I don't respect him a lot. But I do think that he is a cunning warrior and has some very legitimate political acumen, like I mentioned, 3 weeks ago when I first started talking about Ormund Hightower in this show. That was embarrassing, and it almost feels as if Daeron Targaryen, he feels, for right now, from what I know about Daeron Targaryen, he feels very pure at heart and kind of innocent, but also is being held hostage by Ormund Hightower because Daeron has the name and the dragon, and that's what Ormund needs to do what he wants to do. So if this were to happen, and I don't think this is what's going to happen, but obviously that could be what happens. If you read the book, don't put this in the comment section. If Daeron Targaryen were to take over the Iron Throne, Ormund Hightower 1000% would just be actually the one pulling the strings, and Daeron would be a puppet king. That's what I'm seeing at this point in the season. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe not. We'll see. But it just feels like that is kind of what that would look like in the end. Again, I don't think that's what's going to happen, but that does feel like that's kind of the direction that things are going on the show at this point in time. I will say, too, I'm kind of nervous for where Alicent and Helena are going to end up. Like, there's a rat problem in this castle. Like in the Red Keep, there's a massive rat problem, and they are stuck in a random secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. I am concerned for their well-being. Obviously, they'll probably make it through because Olivia Cook, and I don't know what the girl's name is that plays Helena, great actress, are obviously important characters to the story, and there is another Targaryen baby that's sitting in Helena's womb at this point, so they're gonna survive. But obviously, like, that's left up for question at the very end of this episode. But I don't know. There was a lot going on in this episode. I just have a lot of questions. Who was it that slaughtered the Gold Cloaks? Like, how is Ormund Hightower and Daeron Targaryen getting orders to these people to foment rebellion against the Queen in King's Landing? Like, how is that happening? I think that the person who is probably the one who slaughtered those Gold Cloaks is probably a couple guys, and I do believe that they are also a part of that military regiment. I don't know what you would even call it. The Gold Cloaks. I think it is one of their own or a couple of their own who did the slaughtering thing because they have loyalties to Daeron Targaryen. They've been bought by Ormund Hightower and all of the money that the Hightowers happen to have at this point in time. I think that's probably the most likely scenario. I don't think that it's just some random lowborn person in Flea Bottom in King's Landing that's able to do something like this. These are Gold Cloak knights. It's going to take someone that's pretty legitimate at hand-to-hand combat, sword fighting, strategizing to be able to do what they did to that group. A feast for traitors, or a feast of traitors. I forget what the wall said at the end, but like, it's going to be someone that's pretty talented, or a couple someones who are pretty talented to be able to do that to those guys. That was kind of a shocking piece to this episode as well. But I do, like I said, I feel vindicated because there was something in me that knew Aemond was not dead and that he was going to come back. The show has started to do a really good job of making me kind of feel more in favor of Daemon and Aegon. Maybe it's because they're like down on their luck right now and need some wins. And I love rooting for an underdog. That might be why I'm feeling this way for Aemond and Aegon, but I don't know why. The show has done a pretty decent job of like making me feel sorry for Alicent, making me feel sorry for Aegon, making me feel sorry for Aemond. Like, it's doing a good job of that, which I think it's supposed to do, because almost kind of like Dune, we're not supposed to see these Targaryens, like this era, really any of the Targaryens ever over time. We're not supposed to view them as like hero figures. Like, they are brutal kings and queens, and they rule with an iron fist, and they're not kind. Like, Rhaenyra is starting to lean away from being a queen of the people and being less kind, while, you know, the ones that I've hated for 3 seasons, basically the Hightower side of the Targaryen family, the Greens, are kind of coming into me feeling sorry for them. It's doing a good job of that so far this season. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comments section below. Don't spoil anything, please. If you do that, I will hunt you down and gut you like a fish. If you'd like to fax me, press the star key. That's a quote from the Grinch, by the way. Drop a like on your way out. Click that subscribe button, and I will catch you all in the very next episode. Enjoy your dinner.